Nice little Detroit Lions video. Y'all know what it is. We back. It's Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with some Detroit Lions love. Who is Matthew Stafford's best playmaker out there? And I kind of singled it down to Marvin Jones Jr. and Golden Tate. I mean, Ebron's gone. LeGarrette Blount yet to be seen. Theo Reddick, got Amir Abdullah, I mean, Michael Roberts, he hasn't really proved himself yet. I think Mr. Fails is gone. I mean, you've seen Luke Wilson play before. But I just think, Kenny Galladay, you can put him in there. I think it just boils down to who's better, Marvin Jones Jr. or Golden Tate. Who's more important to the offense? Who's Matthew Stafford's playmaker and go-to guy? Who's his best weapon between the two? A lot of people will tell you Golden Tate and Golden Tate. When he first got here, I think a lot of people were living off that wave. He was a beast with Calvin. When Calvin went out, he took over in London versus Atlanta. And it seemed like after Calvin left, he lost something. Like mentally, it just seemed like he got his money and just didn't care no more. People forget the season after Calvin left, I think it was. I mean, Golden Tate was benched. He just stopped caring. But when he's intrigued, when he's engaged and intrigued into the game, he's a hell of a weapon in the slot, though. But he ain't the same guy that was here 3 or 4 years ago when he got here. That's not the Golden Tate no more, but he's effective. You could blame it on a lack of run game. You could be blaming on the lack of a tight end, controlling the middle, working with him on the inside. But he lost a step, in my opinion. A lot of drop balls, some fumbles, a lot of boneheaded plays, running behind the first down marker. And not to say Marvin Jones Jr. ain't had his ups and downs. Last year, he had a murderous row of cornerbacks that he faced. But after he got past that murderous row of cornerbacks that he did face, he definitely took over. He definitely took over. When you're talking about a deep threat, when he first got here, a lot of people say, he ain't a deep threat. We need a big receiver like Calvin Johnson. A lot of people didn't know. Marvin Jones, the year before he got here, the year before that, because he was injured, before the injury, let me say that with Cincinnati, because that was a few years between there. He was a beast. His drop rate wasn't bad. I think when he got to Detroit, it was tough for him to adjust to the velocity that Stafford threw, because obviously Andy Dalton don't got half the arm that Stafford got. So he had to adjust with the drops. But you talk about making big plays down the field. He can improve, in my opinion. With the underneath routes. Some of the slant routes. He has some drops on some slant routes. And I think they can get him better. Get him better on some end routes, some flag post routes, some out routes. They can get him be more creative with Marvin Jones. Just have him stretching the field. But and a lot of people didn't know he was that big, 6'2", and running the 4.4s. He can stretch the field. I just think underneath he needs to get some more work on some skinny posts. He can go across the middle. I think it's just about them trusting, Stafford throwing the ball with that velocity. But I think he's adjusted to that. But you talking about, Golden Tate. Golden Tate is the ultimate safety route for Stafford. And not only do Golden Tate catch the ball, he might not go deep like he used to. But guess what with Golden Tate? He catch the ball. He going to keep deep yardage because he's one of the best, receivers after yards after the catch. So, it's a yin and a yang. Golden Tate numbers wasn't that hot that last year, but Marvin Jones numbers, was steaming hot towards the end of the year. After the first 4 games, they was steaming hot. And it's just basically like, if the Lions ever got, consistent tight end play and a consistent run game, I think you really would have a better barometer about who's the better playmaker, because basically the Lions is doing this without 8-9 man box. Sometimes they probably wouldn't even put an 8 or 9 man box if it's 4 inches with the Lions, because they still believe they're going to roll out and throw it or something like that. So it's really hard to gauge how great and how good and consistent they can be. With the threat of a run game, Marvin Jones will probably get open a lot more. Golden Tate will stay open, in my opinion. Off of play action and him doing a zig route, or him, doing a quick slant, or him doing, controlling the middle with a tight end that really could control the middle. It's dangerous, man. And right now, it's close. It's close. Off of last year is obviously Marvin Jones Jr., but I'm not going to gauge it off of last year. I'm just going to gauge it over an overall body of work. And I'm going to just go ahead and say Golden Tate is the more consistent playmaker, even with a down year. A lot of people don't believe it, but if you look at numbers, he had a down year in 2 years in a row. But I know what he can do when he's engaged, and the play caller is being able to call the plays that he want to call and get creative with them. I still think Golden Tate is the best playmaker. Now, do I want to get rid of Golden Tate? Yes, because I don't think he's going to be worth the money. We got him on a bargain before, and next year will determine, what type of money that he could get. I will wait to pay him, because if the wide receiver class is hot next year, like it was hot when he signed here, you let him walk because you're going to get him at a cheaper price. You feel me? So I'm just playing the odds. I'm like, you can easily find a receiver and plug them in. And that's one of the easiest, cheapest positions you can get and translate to. Randall Cobb, a second-round pick. Julian Edelman was like, a 5th or 6th round pick. Danny Amendola was a late-round pick. I mean, Ryan Switzer and Cole Beasley with the Cowboys were good. Both good inside was late-round picks. You can find great receivers for good value. You know what I'm saying? And another guy I mentioned, I like Anthony Miller. They could potentially draft this year and take over Golden Tate's spot in the slot. But right now, Golden Tate is the best consistent playmaker, but don't mean you can't upgrade him. Don't mean you have to pay him, because in the NFL, as soon as you pay people that's turning 30, that they lose a step. And he's already lost a step, and he's exclusively a slot receiver now. I don't think he can consistently play on the outside. But right now, he's their best playmaker, and they got him under contract for 1 more year. So, I'm not dissing him. I'm just stating the facts, and a lot of people get a little bit upset with that. But Marvin Jones got to put 2 years together. Golden Tate put 2 or 3 good years together for the Lions. And just because of down year last year, in my opinion, don't change nothing. He's the most consistent playmaker. He's our go-to guy. He's that guy. He's more versatile than Marvin Jones, in my opinion. But let me know who y'all think is the better playmaker, Marvin Jones or Golden Tate. We gone.